This time last year, few of us could have predicted the situation we are now in. The impact of COVID-19 has been truly extraordinary. Almost every area of life has been affected, including our experience of church. We miss gathering together in this building on a Sunday like we used to, or being able to see each other face to face in our homes for small groups. We miss the sense of community, the giving and receiving of news and care and love. And my guess is that this pandemic is not going away anytime soon, as we face up to the fact that our experience of church could be impacted not just for months, but perhaps years. It would be easy to feel discouraged about church, not this building, but the people. To wonder if it's really worth making the effort to keep going with church when it involves Zoom calls or pre-recorded services or in-person gatherings with no singing. This coming term, we're going to be studying Paul's letter to the Ephesians on Sundays and in our small groups. And I'm excited because at its heart, Ephesians is all about God's plan for the church. Like an architect pulling back a cover to reveal some grand design, Ephesians pulls back the cover on God's plan for the church, and it is a glorious plan. But it is also a plan we cannot always see with our human eyes. Paul himself wrote Ephesians from prison, probably in Rome. I wonder if our experience of lockdown will give us a fresh insight into just how hard prison would have been for Paul. Cut off from friends, unable to travel, no certainty about the future, at times fearing for his life, and through it all, not being able to gather with God's people as church on a Sunday. We would forgive Paul if he were discouraged about his experience of church, if he felt like giving up. But in Ephesians, Paul is full of joy and confidence. Why? Because he's not just relying on what his human eyes can see, but also on the glorious plan God has revealed to him. And so this term, if we look only with our physical eyes, we may well get discouraged and want to give up on church. But as we study Ephesians, we'll see with our new eyes. We'll see the glorious plan God has for his people, the church, revealed in his word. And this plan cannot be stopped by anything, not even a pandemic. We've called this series Together in Christ because in Ephesians we discover that in Christ God is putting a broken world back together again. Imagine dropping a glass of water on the floor, smash, glass everywhere. No matter how hard we might try, there is nothing we can do to put the glass back together again. And our world is like that glass, broken apart by human sin, broken relationships, a broken created order, a broken physical world. But God has a plan to put our world back together again. Here's Ephesians 1, verse 9. God made known to us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he purposed in Christ, to be put into effect when the times reach their fulfillment, to bring unity to all things in heaven and on earth under Christ. In Christ, God is putting this broken world back together again. And the church, the people of God, is where we see this plan taking place. And even if we are in prison like Paul, or in a lockdown like we've been, even if we cannot see each other as much as we want to, or gather on a Sunday in the same way, God's glorious plans for his church cannot be stopped. My prayer this term is that as we study Ephesians, God will pull back the cover and reveal to us his glorious plan in Christ for his people, the church. And as we see this plan, we'll be ready to play our part, committing to God's people, no matter how long or how hard this season may be.